use it as a table. And these are notes. That's right. These other comics think they're so good with their ability to memorize. I wrote it, that's enough. What's up, guys? My name's Tegan. I often get asked if that's my real name. It is. It's my first name. And I like my first name because it's pretty cool. Usually when I'm called Tegan, it's followed by something good, like, "Hey, Tegan, want to come to this party?" Or, "Tegan, when's your next show?" Or, "Tegan, oh, Tegan, Tegan!" That's probably my favorite, too. Unfortunately, as cool as my first name is, it's completely counterbalanced by my last name. Flanders. Yeah, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for like The Simpsons and Hi Diddly Ho, Tigarino, but I hate being called Mr. Flanders because it's never anything good. I never get, "Mr. Flanders, you just won the lottery." No. I get, "Mr. Flanders, this is the collection agency. You're 3 months past due." "Mr. Flanders, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will." Fuck, man. I am from Massachusetts, if some of you heard some of the dialogue that some of the other comics and I were having. I love being from Mass. It gives me this beautiful accent that you're hearing right now. There is no such thing as an R. It's an ah. Even though I hail from Mass, I did spend some time in Vegas. I was raised by my mom, and we lived out in Nevada. I was like 8, 9 years old. And she was a single mom. Not an easy thing to be, I understand. But my mom, she was a single mom and she dated. Kind of awkward. I remember the first time that she went on a date. I'm like 9. And she comes down and she's wearing her favorite dress. And she's got the high heels on and her boobs are popping. And she looks at me and she goes, "Tegan, how do I look?" I'm like, "Hold on, Ma. I got a long sleeve turtleneck around here somewhere." Well, my mom, she went on a date. I remember this because it was the first time I was ever home alone. And anyone from my generation, I like to call my generation Generation Y. But anyone from my generation knows those Macaulay Culkin movies, Home Alone?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, he goes around setting traps for burglars. And me being home alone and 9 years old, I'm like, all right, gotta set the traps. So I take some fishing line, and I go right across the doorway, and I tie it up to a can of paint. I mean, it's brilliant. I got the whole thing figured out, clearly. Well, a few hours pass, and the burglars never arrived. But my mom came home. She comes in, trips the wire, the paint comes down, ruins her favorite dress. I knew I was fucked right there. She looks at me. Her date saw the fire in her eyes as she looked at me, and he's just like, "Well, I'll see y'all later." He goes to leave. I go to follow him out because I know that if I stay in the trailer, Mama's going to catch me. So I go bolting out. I get halfway through the door. My mom grabs me by the mullet and yanks. I knew. I'm so fucked at this point. I'm just crying. I'm crying to the point where I can't even breathe. But I'm still trying to apologize. I'm so sorry. And that's how we found out I had asthma. That's what it's like growing up in Nevada. I love beer. You know why I love beer? Because beer is manly. Beer's "I'll kick your ass." Yeah, I'll do it. I've never quite understood why. But for some reason, when I've got a mixed drink, I lose some of that masculinity. And I've never understood it because I think that I'm a pretty intimidating guy. But when I go, "I'll kick your ass," I'll do it. New York is so interesting to me. Again, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm not from New York. Things are still kind of new and exciting for me. Where I'm from, we call New York the Big Apple. From what I've seen on every corner, I think it should be the Big Bagel. I think that's a slightly more appropriate nickname. I don't even know why I would call it Beantown. I don't think I've ever had beans. Anyway, each borough of New York is completely different. And I just found the beautiful one of Queens last week. That was an interesting borough. Apparently in Queens, everyone is throwing away a couch. You can't go 3 fucking blocks without seeing a couch in the sidewalk. I went drinking with some of my fraternity brothers out in Queens.
Yeah!
Damn right. We go drinking out in Queens. I get shit-faced and I'm trying to stumble my ass home. And finally I just quit. And I pulled up one of these lovely soggy couches. I wake up in the morning, my clothes are sticking to me because the fucking couch was all wet. I got vomit on my shirt. I got a lit cigarette in one hand, $4 and change in a cup to my right, and I'm getting a blowjob from a hooker.
Yeah!
The Wall Street guys are walking by me like, oh shit, I'm trying to play it off like it's cool. Like, hey man, why don't you put some change in the cup? Oh man, I'm trying to think what else I can talk to you guys about. What else do I know about? Drugs. I'm not alone.
Damn right!
I remember the first time I ever did drugs. Me and a buddy, we rolled a fat J. You know what I'm talking about. We twisted that baby up. We spark it. We get halfway through the fucking thing, I get the munchies and eat the other half. Oh, I didn't stop there. I was eating like Twinkies and Rolaids and Tums and anything else I could find in my grandma's purse. No, stoners aren't bad. You don't have to worry too much about that. The drug that you really gotta watch out for is that snow.
Damn right!
That cocaine. Oh, that shit'll sneak right up on you. I'm telling you, it starts off, it's like Friday or Saturday, I'm chilling with all my friends, and we're all doing it like, woo! Woo! Yeah! And then it's 4 a.m. Wednesday, and I'm alone. I'm in my living room, Larry King Live is on TV or some shit, he's going, give me a call, I've got 3 open lines. I'm like, fuck you, I've got 5. So, I like movies, but I can't watch the previews anymore because they're always trying to scare you. And there's only one that actually scares me, and it's when the announcer goes, "But no one can hear you scream." That's some scary shit because you know if you're screaming, it's because shit hit the fan. And if no one can hear you, well, you're pretty well fucked.
Yeah!
Well, me and my ex-girlfriend, she takes me to a death bar. It was a regular bar, but it was death night, whatever. We go and we're talking to some of these people, and I don't understand sign language, but they can read lips, so it's not too bad. I pounded way too many drinks and I couldn't drive, so my girl arranged for us to get a ride home with this gay deaf couple. And we're on the way back, and they start arguing in sign language ferociously. And I see we're getting closer to the vehicle in front of us, and we're like flying. We're not slowing down, and that's not moving. So I do what anyone would do. I scream. But they're deaf. Well, thank you guys very much. My name is Tegan. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. January 31st, probably February 1st by now. Broadway Comedy Club, Manhattan.
Sorry, I'm